Hello, this is our Bridgeport Milling machine, and it's got a variable speed head, 42-inch table, it's got a 3-axis DRO. It's had a full strip down service, replacing all the bearings, lead screws, nuts, pulleys, belts, everything that's needed doing, we've done it, and we've painted it in a beautiful Bridgeport blue-grey enamel, really hard-wearing paint. But what's really interesting about this particular machine is we've single-phased it. It's running on 240 volts single phase. And how have we done that? Well, we've done that in a really interesting way. In the rear of the cabinet, hidden inside here, is a Mitsubishi inverter. So we've got 240 volts coming into the Mitsubishi inverter, and coming out of the inverter is 220 volts, 3-phase. So single phase coming in, three phase coming out. And that goes directly to the motor via the contactor. To do that, as standard, the motor is 415 volts, 3-phase. But this particular one lends itself to it. Not all of the Bridgeports lend themselves to this type of conversion. There's other ways of doing it. Is to change the wiring from 415 to 220. But that particular motor had that capacity inside there. It allowed you to do it, which is what we've done. The rest of the control side is 110 volts, and that is still 110 volts. But we've also changed the coolant pump, which is now a 110 volt coolant pump. Okay, so now I'm going to run through the machine, show you it running, and you'll see that it runs completely as standard, which is the perfect type of conversion. You can't tell that it's running on single phase unless you looked at the plug or we told you about it. So turn it on the back as normal, e-stop as normal, press the green one to go. Okay, so coolant pump, it's this switch. Power feed needs to be down, that's that switch. This is for the slotted head, it's not fitted, so we're not worried about that. And this one on the far left, that is the variable speed head, so that needs to be down all the time to keep the machine initialized. So mechanically, absolutely lovely. We've changed the lead screws, we've changed the nuts to brand new. Absolutely beautiful, almost no backlash at all there. Same with the Y-axis. It's absolutely lovely. And this particular machine has beautiful chrome beds. If you want to see some extra pictures, just send me an email. We'll send you some close-ups of the bed. Lovely smooth all the way across. Same with the knee, we've replaced, or fully serviced the knee, we replaced the bearings. We've adjusted all the gears in there, and on top of that, there's no point doing all that work if you don't do it on oil service. So we've changed all the lube pipe, we've changed the metering units, we've serviced the lube pump, which is down the bottom there, and moving on, we've serviced all the brakes, all the locks for the Y, for the knee. They're all serviced and all working great. Okay, so powering up, we've got an X-axis power feed here, and that's a variable speed system. Variable speed wherever you want. Rapid override on the top. Take your finger off, it comes back to feed, back to whatever feed you set. And you can adjust these stops to whatever you need them to be, but just make sure you don't take them off. There is little stops in there, and they're hidden under there for a reason, it's to protect the glass scale that's on the back. Okay, I'll just get this back to the middle. It's looking really nice. So moving on, we're going to move on now to testing the variable speed head and the quill. So we're currently set in high range at around 800 RPM. Again, don't forget that's running on single phase. So engage the quill. You see the handle feeding down now. So for every spindle speed, you've got 3 different feed rates. So that's the highest, that's the slowest, and that's the medium. So if you see this main part of the quill here, this come down and touch the stop, and it'll trip out automatically. So that works great. We can reverse that feed rate here. So it reverses just fine. Okay, so moving on, we're going to test the variable speed head now. We're just going up and down the spindle range just to let you hear it running. That's running about 500 RPM. That's 1,000. And that's up to 2,000. And in reverse now. To 2,000. Down to a more sensible 1,000. And back down to 500. Okay, so we change from high to low range, pushing this handle in, and we turn it round. Make sure it locks into low range, and fire up in low. It's just as quiet in low, but now we're doing 50 to 60 RPM. There's 140, and that's on to 240, and you can hear it's lovely and quiet. Same in reverse, just as quiet. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to switch from low to high range again. But before I do that, I'm going to go to the neutral. So this position here, there's another little detent there, and when the handle's pointing towards the table, you'll find that you've got a neutral position for the spindle. That's for clocking up any PCDs. Okay, so moving now to high range. And here it swaps over, absolutely lovely. Okay, so we're going to add a guard to this machine before it ships as well, but obviously we're just testing it at the moment and just showing it all running. We do have other options available. This is currently running on 3-axis. You can add a 4th axis. You can add Y-axis power feed, Z-axis power feed if you wish. So there's lots of other options you can add to any of our machines, including you can single phase them as well. Please click the subscribe button down below. If you need digital readout, we do digital readout for all types of machines, not just Bridgeports. We have kits for all the Colchester range, the Harrison range, all the common machines we have. So you can log on to gtprecision.co.uk. There's a link down the bottom as well. Or if you need parts such as the lights, the handles, power feeds, and that sort of thing, log on to our other website, which is gtmachineparts.co.uk. Again, there's a link down in the bottom. And thanks for watching.